and Angel Bismark Curiel are in the house. So good to have both of you on. Thank you guys for joining us. I mean, look, there's so much to talk about. Is it surreal that this is the final season? Indya?
Yeah, I'm gonna miss this show. You know, it's changed my life and the lives of so many people. And I think, irregardless of me playing the character of Angel on the show, I feel like it would have changed my life just as much. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for that.
You were 22 years old when you auditioned for the part of Angel. When you first saw the script, what did you think?
I felt a lot of feelings. I didn't want to play a sex worker again, you know. And Saturday Church, an incredible film that I played with MJ, a young queer trans person coming to terms with their identity and what they went through at home. And it was a really important, I think, story to tell, but I was afraid of the recycling of the narrative of trans femmes and trans people being sex workers. And I didn't want to, you know, recontribute to that. And so I was afraid of that being a dominant narrative. I mean, telling the story and having Stephen and Janet protect the narrative so well and the way that they included like all the facets of our lives and not just our survival. It really deconstructed even the way that I thought about my own survival and myself and the shame that I experienced because of it.
Angel, Indya said a word that is so powerful that can stifle all of us: fear. You know, fear. Or is this going to be accepted? Will we be accepted? When you saw the script, did you think, there's no way? You know, they might not be ready for all this realness. Or did something else, you know, come to you and say, let's do this? If we don't do it, who will?
Well, before Pose and before setting foot on this beautiful set, I didn't really know what trans meant, transgender, let alone the traumas and the complications that come very quickly after you hear that word. Yeah. But for this house, the house of Evangelista, to accept, you know, this cisgendered, for the most part, heterosexual appearing young man and say, you know what, this dude is kind of cool. Like, we could hold space for him.
You know, I think that you say something, Angel, that is so true. Even with the exposure to life that you'd had, there were still things that you did not understand, which is what the show has done. It's been an educational experience for people who even believe, since the word of the day is woke, who thought they were so woke. I mean, this really opened our eyes. So let me ask you, though. I mean, here, obviously, you know, much of the show is unpacking the pain. This latest episode of individual characters going back to their roots, the rejection of family, the rejection by society. But what I think made the show a much-watched show, Indya, is, for example, the love story between Lil Papi and Angel, because life is not all pain. That doesn't mean you ignore the pain. That doesn't mean the pain isn't there. But there is also love. My favorite scenes are the dinner scenes. One of my favorite scenes was when Lil Papi and Angel were on the park kissing. I felt like a voyeur, but it was a celebration of love. So do you understand what I'm saying? When, you know, that storyline, yes, we know that there's much pain that can be associated with it, but for the first time, we were able to smile at a couple like this. Did that offer you some relief?
100%. You know, those are the thoughts, you know, that I came onto this project with, just because of what the reality of our communities are for so many of us, for trans people. And playing this character and telling this story really shifted my own projection of possibility for myself and for my community.
Angel, is that why you think the show was such a hit? I mean, like I said, people were hooked from day one. Is it along the way of talking about the pain, there's also the other word, possibility? Is that what you think resonated?
Yeah, I think possibility as well as truth. Yeah. You know, when you put those two things together, and you're honest about the reality of where things are going right now and the things that are happening to trans women and trans women of color, particularly at the hands of, cisgendered men like myself, that some are too ashamed or too embarrassed to be open and honest about their love, if it happens to be a trans woman or a trans woman of color. But then we have this possibility and we have this joy and we share this life that is the love story between Papi and Angel that says, hey, no, there's there's beautiful parts of life too, and we have to squeeze our way into it no matter how hard it is.
Before I talk more about the show, I've got to ask you your reaction to your friend Billy Porter's interview here on the Tamron Hall show. Billy, as you know, revealed that he had been hiding his HIV positive status for 14 years. Here's some of what Billy shared with me.
That scene you acted a decade after, sitting in a room, learning that very same diagnosis. I don't know how you were able to do it. Was that, pray tell, the character, or was that Billy Porter?
Both. And that's what I speak of when I speak of the gift that Pose has been for me. The idea of understanding that trauma is not something that you compartmentalize or disassociate from, which I am so good at doing.
Did you always compartmentalize?
The trauma started so early for me. The only muscle I had until recently was to disassociate and compartmentalize and keep moving forward.
Angel, your reaction?
To know that he was on set telling stories and telling a particular story so close to home and not being able to talk about that.
Yeah.
And to just have that in a container and then be asked with every script here.
Yeah.
Give us more of yourself.
Indya, that's so much of what I see in this script, not just with Billy and Pray Tell, but as you pointed out, you and some of the things that you endured over your journey that seep into these scripts where, wow, you see your story in some of these characters. Were you prepared, Indya, for, you think, this life-changing experience? Almost like your character Angel, where he's saying, you're going to be on magazines. People will know your name. That is exactly what's happening to you in real life. Were you prepared for it? Is it still surreal?
I don't really know how to process that right now. I'm always grateful for love and just the respect that people have grown into having from my community because of the story that we told. And
that is the thing, Angel. I mean, the critics weren't always open to the idea, but each and every episode proved so many people wrong. I know during the award season as well, there was a worry that why did the trans actors not get nominated? Same conversation we have with the Oscars, with female directors, when female directors are shut out. The same thing with the other award shows when Black actors have been shut out. We've had this conversation many times when many groups have felt left out. But here we are at the season finale. Do you feel the satisfaction of they underestimated us and we pulled off the incredible?
100%. This show is a pack of underdogs that nobody expected. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us aren't even supposed to be alive right now. And here we are, forcing a whole lot of people to see our faces, watch our work. And one thing I love to repeat is that, yes, this show hits home for a lot of the actors that come and do their thing, but this is not a documentary.
Right.
I don't want people to ever get that twisted. I believe Indya Moore, Indya, you are one of the greatest actors of our generation.
Yeah.
And I need you to receive all of your flowers. The same for MJ Rodriguez.
Yeah.
The same for Nick, the same for Haley, the same for Angelica. you know, and yeah, I don't want people to get it twisted. Yes, you know, the truth hits home for a lot of the actors that step foot and do their thing, but it's not a documentary.
It is not, you know, and I was curious, you know, Indya, the way that Angel just came and gave you your flowers, it has to be a blast on set when you are able to just all laugh and relax together. And what is it like on that set?
It's mad love. And each other so much, like, you know, and we be just having fun. Like, I don't know, it's family. And a lot of time, you know, it's a space where a lot, you know, we're really vulnerable, you know, to each other, like with each other, in front of each other. And we got to know each other in really, I think, intimate and sacred, beautiful ways.